Hello, my name's Anna Semiaba, and today I'm here with the director and co-writer of Electric Man and the main actor. If you guys could just start by introducing yourselves.
Hi, I'm Dave Barris. I'm the director and co-writer of Electric Man.
My name's Toby Manley and I'm the actor Jazz. I play Jazz in Electric Man.
First of all, Toby, could you tell us a bit about the plot of Electric Man and the role your character plays in the film?
Yes, so my character, Jason Archer, Jazz, is one of the comic shop owners. There are two comic shop owners of Deadhead Comics in Edinburgh. And what happens is that they're in quite a lot of debt with their shops. They can't afford to pay their rent to their landlord. Luckily and mysteriously, they find a copy of Electric Man, issue 1, 1937, in their shop, which they know doesn't belong to them. So they try and find the rightful owner so they get some kind of reward, which will then help them pay the rent for their shop. And then as they try to find this rightful owner, lots of nefarious people start appearing to try and take the comic for themselves, as it's very, very, very valuable. So.
Toby, did you find it hard to get into character?
Yes and no. I think no in a way because, unfortunately, he's quite similar to me. He's a bit of a nerd, and so I didn't have to. And also, they changed it from being a Scottish character to an English one, so I didn't have to do a Scottish accent either.
And David, what inspired you to write the screenplay?
It was actually my co-writer Fred Scott who wrote the first draft, and he was a student at the time when he wrote it. And he gave it to me shortly afterwards, and it was about Superman issue 1 when he first wrote it, and that was quite a while ago. But what happened was, more recently, was we decided that we could make a low-budget movie with this script. We set about rewriting it, and one of the major factors about doing this film was we knew we were only going to have about £50,000 to play with. So one of the main attractions was it's all set in Edinburgh. It's all pretty much set within a mile radius, and we could do it cheaply, but also we liked the characters, we liked the setting, we liked the humour in it, and we wanted to do something that was different from what was coming out of Scotland as well, because for the past couple of decades we've not really made fun comedy movies in Scotland. We used to with things like Gregory's Girl and Restless Natives, but there hasn't been a comedy caper movie like this come out of Scotland for a long time, so that was one of the big attractions, to do something different, and also to just show Edinburgh off a little bit, because anytime you see Scotland in the movies, it's either historical or it's housing estates and heroin addicts and stuff like that, and that's really not all we've got to offer. So we wanted to have Edinburgh be a bit of Edinburgh's not a character in the film, but we just wanted to, all the locations we chose were like nice bits of Edinburgh. There's no kind of horrible housing estates or anything like that, so that was one of the big things we wanted to get across.
And how did you find casting the film and putting a team together?
Putting the team together was actually relatively easy, apart from this gentleman here, and not anything because of him, but we just could not find the person to play Jazz. As Toby said, on paper the character was Scottish, but we auditioned several people to do it, and then Wolf, who plays his sidekick, the guy that owns a shop with him, was cast fairly early, and just to get somebody to play off with him, it was quite difficult, and also just to get somebody who really embodied Jason was difficult. And literally it was only 2 weeks before we started to shoot that we cast Toby in the role. So apart from Toby, I think pretty much.
Toby, how did you find filming in Edinburgh?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I love Edinburgh anyway as a city. I've been up there a few times for the festival and other times as well. So I really like it. Every time I've been up there.
David, as a director, what were some of the main challenges you faced whilst filming?
Budget. That was one of the main ones. And literally, when I say budget, that also comes down to things like how much time you've got. So one day we were supposed to have a crane that somebody had lent us for the day, and it was going to be this big shot right in front of the university. It was all planned out, and again, throwing it down the drain, so we had to move the whole production to a tunnel. We started like 3 hours late. It was all very condensed, and some children on bikes came mocking us, and it was a kind of really tense day. And then we had Andre Vincent, the stand-up comic, for like literally again for like 2 hours in the afternoon, and he had to do all his scenes, and literally he was like, my train's in 10 minutes. There was a guy outside in the car with the engine running. Go. So that was all. Looking back, all seems quite fun.
Yes.
On the day, I'm sure I was like.
Central.
Also, just being the director is quite stressful. Everybody looks to you and asks you questions and stuff like that. But the team were great. I had a very good support team. The producer and my DOP and everybody on the team was great. We were really a merry
Very
band
lucky.
by the end of the production. We were all very tight as a group. So it was good.
This is for both of you. Why do you think films about comic books are so popular at the moment?
Right, I'll go first and then you can fill in the gaps. I don't know, I think at the moment there's, I suppose the thing that really kicked it off was probably, correct me if I'm wrong, probably Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. It was massive budget when they got to the stage where they realised they could do kind of CGI stuff that looked believable rather than either something really crap that looked obviously fake or having some dude in a badly tailored Spider-Man suit walking around going, yeah. And then because that was so popular, they decided, right, hang on a minute, we can do the second Spider-Man. And then they started thinking about all the other characters they could do. Iron Man went down really well. Obviously, the Batman films had a big resurgence after the sort of.
I think the thing is that you've now had, like, Superman's now been around since 1938, Batman's been around since 1940, so you've literally got decades worth of stories. And Hollywood is very bad at like coming up with anything new, so they just go, right, let's mine all this stuff that's already there.
Yeah.
And also, apart from that, you've got kids that grew up in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s who all read it, so it's quite a big audience. It's got a bit of nostalgia appeal for older people.
Yeah.
You know, my mum and dad will go and see the Batman films or watch the Batman films on. So I think, and it has grown, and it really has grown, and I think it's also become. It's kind of trendy to be geeky now, so you go to a convention and people aren't afraid to dress up like Doctor Who and walk the streets, whereas I think 20 years ago you'd have been mocked in the streets. You've got things like Harry Potter, and there's all these little niches of fandom that exist, and you go to these cons and literally there'll be people walking about and you go, I've got no idea what they're dressed up as, I have no idea who these people are. That's great in a way. It's like, they obviously know who they are, and other people.
In a world where big blockbusters have huge budgets, do you think that small indie films can really make a difference?
Can they make a difference? I just hope we can find an audience. Is the most difficult thing about this, and we've now been on this. We finished the film in 2010.
Well, finished shooting
in 2010.
Finished the film mid 2011.
Film has been pretty much finished since mid to late 2011. So we've been on this promotional tour, kind of showing the film at film festivals stuff for about a year and a bit. That's the difficult bit. There's no space there's very little space in the market for us. So that's why we end up coming to like Oxford for one night. We're literally having one screening. But the great thing is when people do find you and you get that feedback, it's great. And I just hope that what this tour is doing is opening the film up to certain people who will then talk about it. And now that it's out in DVD and next year it will be available on iTunes and all that kind of stuff, that we do find an audience, and hopefully if we can make our money back, then we go on to the next film, and hopefully with a bigger budget and maybe with a secured release, because that's the big thing, is get the product out to the audience is the most difficult thing, and as it has proved with this. But at the same time, we're in a very good position. Not very many micro budget movies get to the point where they do a cinema tour and stuff like that, so we have to be
Great, well, it was really nice to talk to you guys today. Where can people go and see Electric Man?
At the minute, we're on the tail end of a UK cinema tour, so we're doing Picture House Cinemas, and we're on in the Oxford Phoenix tonight, which is 6 PM, with a Q&A with Toby and myself afterwards. Next week we have a screening in Scotland on the Friday, which nobody in Oxford is going to go to. And then we have a DVD launch night in London next Saturday the 15th, which is we're basically taking over a room above a bar in Fulham. If anybody would like to come to that, they can be in touch through our Facebook page, which is Electric Man Movie on Facebook. And then our very last date is in Brighton, which is next Sunday, the 16th of December at 1 PM. And if you can't make it along to any of them, the DVD is available through the Electric Man website, which is www.electricmanmovie.com.
Great, well, thanks David and Toby, and good luck with the film.
Thank you very much.